To this interscholastic event is a privilege with the expectation to exhibit positive, respectful behavior for all. The WIAA, the Big Rivers Conference, and Oak Lake Memorial reminds you to display good sportsmanship on the field and in the stands. Please be reminded that state law prohibits the use of tobacco products in any area that's used by public schools. We also request that parents help monitor their children during tonight's contest. And now we'd like to welcome you to today's regional final between the Evergreens and the Old Abes. Let's meet the starters for tonight's game. Starting for the Evergreens, in goal number 1, Dina Stronger. Defender number 2, Warren Butletsky. Defender number 6, Kirsten Hall. Defender number 7, Caitlin Abil. Forward number 9, Dana Hopper. Midfielder number 10, Grace Sandwich. Midfielder number 12, Brinley Thomas. Defender number 13, Kira Schmidt. Defender number 15, Maura Hansen. Midfielder number 26, Julia Power. And forward number 27, Brent Hampton. The head coach for the Evergreens is Lucas Boroff. Now let's meet the starters for tonight's game for Old Abe. In goal number 0, Ashlyn Schroeder. Midfielder number 1, Lydia Palmier. Forward number 3, Nora Kling. Defender number 4, Sadie Bernanke. Forward number 5, Marley Ferguson. Midfielder number 8, Kate Roberts. Midfielder number 13, Charlotte Willems. Defender number 14, Ellie Levick. Midfielder number 17, Elise Thomas. Defender number 18, Ellie Hudson. And defender number 20, Amelia Toole. Head coach for the Old Abes is Olivia Marzinski. The officials for tonight's game are Eugene Preska, Salo Al-Nali, and Ann Roth. Now, to honor America and those defending our freedom, we ask that those who are able to stand, move your head, place your hands on the heart, for playing our national anthem.
Good evening, Memorial soccer fans, and welcome to Memorial Stadium. I'm Charles Strayer.
And I'm Teddy Harless.
And we'd like to welcome you here to the following live stream on Old Abes TV, where it's always a great day to be in Old Abe. The Evergreens take on the Old Abes once again, this time for the regional title. An exciting atmosphere here. The rain is gone, and both teams here to play, here for a chance at the sectional round and to make it to this 2025 state championships.
Yeah, it should be an exciting matchup here tonight. Much like last season around, the Old Abes defeated the Huskies 3-0 to make it to this regional final matchup against the Evergreens. But we will see if history repeats itself and the Evergreens come away the champions, or if this improved varsity girls soccer team here for the Old Abes is able to take this year's regional championship home.
And important to note, the Evergreens and the Old Abes did clash in the regular season prior to this. Your Old Abes coming away with the victory, trying to continue with some great momentum from that regional semifinal. We are off as Thomas fields it on the near side. That one escapes a reach. It'll be a throw-in for the Evergreens to start things off. The Old Abes trying to be aggressive here in the early going, something we've seen from them at home quite a bit. Trying to cross over to Thomas on the near side. That one just leading her out a little too long. The defense stringing them out nicely there.
A great look there for the Old Abes. Great vision on that pass. Just a little bit too far out in front, leading the Old Abes not quite being able to get a handle on that goal shot. But like we said, this is a thrilling rematch of last year's regional championship, which the Evergreens were able to pull out a 2-1 victory against the Old Abes. The Old Abes perhaps looking for some measure of revenge and showing that this team is just a little bit better than the team the Evergreens had to face last year.
Yeah, and we're seeing a lot of the aggression that we're used to early on. That one just outstripping Kling and Ferguson. But the Old Abes have been getting good looks, and we're not 2 minutes into this one. So Bronner in the back four, likely to see a lot of action here for the Evergreens.
Yeah, for sure. This Old Abes team, its aggressiveness has shown all season and has been a specialty. They really do a great job of putting the pressure on the opposing goalkeepers. And that's something that if the Old Abes want to succeed, they should do tonight as well.
Now on the far side, the Evergreens with their first true look, chased down and not allowed to get much out of that. Sadie Bernicke doing an excellent job one-on-one to make a contest of that, as it looked like the Evergreens might get a true shot on the goal. Schroeder not having to do much there, as Bernicke, ever the powerful senior she is on that defensive four, able to do the dirty work.
Yeah, Bernicke's been a great player for these Old Abes all season on that defensive back line. Really, that entire senior defensive back line has been incredible. From Bernicke to Hudson to Toole to Levick, it's a bunch of incredible players they've got back there.
Now trying to give Kling her first true look, trying to outpace her defenders. Faced with two that'll be out on her touch, and the Evergreens doing a nice job to bottle her up there. Kling getting a lot of nice looks on the far side. We've seen it time and time again. It's a simple formula but effective. Kling just able to outstrip on the wing, get past her defenders, and get a nice look on the goal. It's helped the Abes come out victorious at many a outing here at Memorial Stadium this season, and against the Evergreens as well.
Yeah, and sort of an opposite to that senior heavy back line, but all of the same level of importance to these Old Abes is Nora Kling. They were able to stop her on that one, but she has been doing great things for this Old Abes roster all season. Scored many a goal here at Memorial Stadium, and it will be exciting to see what she can do in this match.
Yeah, no doubt. The Old Abes, I'm already seeing a lot of good stuff here. In the early stages, about 4 minutes into this one, the Old Abes being very aggressive here. A nice contest. That one, Lauren Bodletsky for the Evergreens able to poke it free and secure a throw in on the far side. Roberts lofts it on the far side over to Kling. Centers it with a header inside the penalty box, looking high, and that shot will be off the marker on the far side. Unable to breach the post, and that one will set up an Old Abe's, I believe, an Old Abe's corner here.
Yeah,
Lydia Palmier to do the honors. Yeah, that one deflected out of bounds.
Yeah, and a good job by the Evergreens defense there, getting in the way of that shot, and
up, looking nice. Bronner in the fray, able to beat Thomas to it, who would have had a great look. However, the keeper for the Evergreens able to secure the clear with this one. It'll go out past midfield.
Yeah, that's a great play by the goalkeeper there. Just good positioning, way to recognize where the ball on that corner was going and snatch it. That's something we've seen a lot out of our goalkeeper, Ashlyn Schroeder, this season.
And a foot race here towards the center. The Evergreens are going to get to it first. Puts up the shot, and that one is off the mark. Anna Hopper, the senior, who had an excellent look and seeing some speed come through there inside the hashes. However, unable to make a good shot out of it. And the Evergreens with a missed opportunity there. The second nice look for the Evergreens, coming away scoreless for them. 5.5 minutes in, tied up 0-0 in the regional final here at Memorial Stadium. As trying to jostle it free is Ferguson on the far side. A nice physical contest there by Abil. And on the attempted clear, that one deflected nicely, and it'll be a throw-in adjacent to the penalty box for the Old Abes.
Yeah, that was a good job of staying in the fight for the ball there by Ferguson, doing an excellent job to not give up on the fight for possession, and it paid dividends for the Old Abes as they got the throw-in.
Yeah, benefiting from some nice field position here as they take a foray over to Thomas. Thomas trying to attack that one high over the center, will not be able to do so. Now Willems trying to get it out of trouble. We'll get it to Palmier, trying to feed it back. It'll go over towards the center, and the Evergreens have a chance to send this one clear. We'll get it out back to Campman. Get it around Levick. Levick taking it this time out past midfield. Has a little bit of space to work with. She'll lead Thomas. Thomas inside the penalty box. Crosses it over, and Bronner's all over it. Bronner able to secure it as it goes across the center. That one a little slow.
And hey, how about that pass by Levick?
Great pass there, setting up
placement.
a good look. But the Evergreens definitely here to stay, and that will set up a free kick here for the Evergreens.
But yeah, a great pass by Levick, a good look for those Old Abes. The goalkeeper for the Evergreens just doing a great job in that situation, and she's been doing great for these Evergreens so far this game.
Backed up, and now Kling on the near side, trying to chase it down, and a nice secure there by Abil. Abil able to get it out of immediate danger. And that will be offsides there, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Late whistle confirms there. And the Evergreens with nice positioning, but once again, unable to capitalize. Tool descended away for the Old Abes on the free kick. 8 minutes this one. On the near side, the Evergreens able to clear it out of harm's way, coming up behind Levick. Haymauer unable to make a contest of it. Now Schroeder's got her way. And a nice header will get the Evergreens back in advantageous position. And I believe another offsides call there. And those can definitely stack up on a team, particularly if you're in that advantageous of a position. The Evergreens likely looking to temper that after suffering 2 offsides calls inside of a minute. Fight for it on the far side, sets up a throw in for Bernicke. Overshoots Kling, back with it as Willems. And now sneaking past, maybe with a shot on a keeper, goes up, over, and Palmier bangs it in. The Old Abes take a 1-0 lead, 9.5 minutes in.
And what a play right there. The Old Abes just doing phenomenal there. Sending it 3 passes in a row, one barely sneaking by the defender.
Palmier on the goal. Look at... And the Old Abes off to a great start. Several aggressive forays into the penalty box later, and it has finally paid off. Early in this one, it's nice to be able to press an advantage, and the Old Abes setting up shop to do just that with an excellent sequence resulting in the first goal of the night. Willems sending this one high over in the direction of Ferguson on the far side. Ferguson trying to chip it over to Kling. Kling secures it inside the penalty box. Reevaluating a nice contest there by Abil. That one sent free of immediate danger. And another one, a nice contest by the defensive front. Deep shot from Roberts. And Bronner not fooled. She'll secure that one for the easy save. Free-for-all in the middle, deep shot, and now Hopper trying to outpace Schroeder. Schroeder able to chip it away, coming up to the edges of the penalty box, and a nice play by Schroeder, undeterred. And she will beat Hopper to the punch. Hopper with her second good look inside the hashes in the early goings.
Yeah, she's been doing a great job this game, getting some good looks, Hopper, but Ashlyn Schroeder there doing a nice job to be aggressive. We've seen a lot of that from her this season. That's something she's so good at, being aggressive. And in some cases, it looks like she might not get there, but she usually does, just because she can judge that distance and the speed so well.
Yeah, and Schroeder pitching shutouts here at Memorial Stadium since that 2-1 victory over the Raiders. High pass, and Schroeder will secure save number 1 on the night. Good sequence by the defense there, forcing a nice and easy shot, and Schroeder and Bronner will trade saves. On the near side now, trying to force it to Kling. Levick keeping it fair. Up 50-50 as Kling able to maneuver around, gets it to the corner of the penalty box, over to the far side, putting it up is Ferguson. That one, not enough power there as Bronner is able to recover. Another good look, just a high, inopportune bounce there for Ferguson to work with.
Yeah, a little high on the pass, didn't let her get her full power in that shot, but if she could have gotten her power in that shot, that could have been a really good look for the Old Abes.
Yeah, and once again, the positioning has been far superior to what the Evergreens have been able to muster so far. Trying to thread the needle in there to Bernicke. To toss up as Thomas tries to fight inside the penalty box.
Although the Evergreens have had some great looks in transition, especially with Hopper out in front. they've been able to get some good looks, but so far have not been able to convert on it due to, in large part, some great play by Ashlyn Schroeder.
It'll be interesting to see how the Evergreens respond. Still plenty of time here, even in this first half, to erase that deficit, but the Old Abes are seemingly in control of this one. I assume it's their Abil, who's been busy all match so far, and now Toole in a foot race with Hopper. Hopper has a chance at this one, pushes it far, and looked good, but takes a bounce past the far post. Schroeder able to narrow the open spot, and with that it'll sail away harmless. Hopper, three good looks now, and that one the closest of the three to getting in.
I mean, yeah, like you said, Schroeder with some great positioning. To a lot of people, that would look like she just shanked the shot, but Schroeder not leaving Hopper with a lot of open space to really attack on either of the goal shots so far. She's great at positioning herself in the goal to give herself the most opportunities for a save.
With that, the Old Abes in great shape here, as defensively they've been firing on all cylinders from the gate.
Yeah, I would like to see from our defense, though, a little bit more limiting of those open one-on-one opportunities for Hopper, because although Ashlyn Schroeder has been able to prevent it from converting so far, that's a tough situation to be putting your goalie in too many times in a game.
Yeah, I think you're right on that, and it's interesting because especially when you look at our offensive attack, a lot of those quick looks in transition are coming from the wing, so seeing it come from the center might beg some adjustment here. Toole picks off that pass intended for Hopper, and now we'll feed it to Kling, who's inside the penalty box on the near side. Nice bit of dribbling to get the center high shot, and that one up through the uprights. A nice boot there from Bernicke. Stringing out Thomas on the far side, crossing it over to Kling. And Bronner with some great work there inside the goalie box, able to scoop that one up before Kling is able to get a shot at it. And once again, the Evergreens will send the Old Abes packing. 16 minutes into this one, the Old Abes trying to press a 1-0 advantage over DC Everest.
And yeah, the Old Abes are up 1-0, but I wouldn't say that's due to lack of effort from Bronger. Bronger has looked
absolutely not, yeah,
fantastic all game at the keeper. The Old Abes working against some tough goalkeeping.
Levick now with the choice goes over to Toutant. Toutant trying to push it over to the far side. And a nice contest there by the defense. Forcing the Abes to reset a bit here. Levick goes back to Roberts. That shot seemingly trying to lead out Thomas, but to avoid some inopportune placement, I'll let that one go to the keeper. Possession will go to the Evergreens here, as they'll get the throw in just shy of midfield. "18 minutes in, Campman and the Evergreens trying to get something going to respond to the Abes lead. Playing with a nice contest there, and Toole once again snapping up that pass. I'll send it deep, and Bronger with a chance to send it away. Willems taking over. Now trying to get a lead on the far side, swooping in. And they will rule that will go to the keeper. Chance to clear it away for DC Everest. A nice idea there, trying to get Bradle in on the action. That one just not quite what they were looking for. Throw in here on the far side, and DC Everest in the last few minutes, we're 19 minutes into this one now, and since Hopper's last foray near the penalty box, they haven't really had much going in terms of offensive attack deep in Old Abe's territory. They've been somewhat floundering at midfield, and the Abe's defensive front has done a nice job to clamp down. Bernicke, as always, rather disruptive there on that far side. She'll take it away as Brinley Thomas attempts to get it now on the far side with a look here. That one scooped up by Bronger, as not much coming to fruition there. Ferguson coming in on the near side just a little late, and a nice job by the keeper in the defensive front to force that one. Maurer with a physical contest there. Thomas jockeying for possession with Toutant, the freshman. And a nice job by the Evergreens. They'll secure a throw-in. And now it's Hopper again. Toole this time chasing her down inside the penalty box. She'll go over for an attempt at the center. That one blocked by Ellie Hudson. A nice deflection. And the Evergreens sent away on another promising look. Great job by Hudson and Toole to make sure Hopper was mitigated.
Evergreens fans looking for a handball call there. Refs ruled that it was off of Hudson's torso rather than her forearms.
Levick showcasing her speed there to chase down Hemauer. Toutant sending that one high. Now once again, Levick, who does such a great job to outpace her opponent when it comes to securing that edge on the wing. Once again doing a nice job to make sure that Hemauer didn't get too much in edgewise.
And that shove against Kling will provide the Old Abes with a free kick opportunity here.
Toole to send this one away, and yeah, see a lot of extra attention on Nora Kling these days. She's definitely earned a lot of extra attention, and sometimes that'll come out in some more physical plays on attempted tackles. Trying to get some speed here. Thomas on the outskirts of the penalty box on the far side. Hudson doing a nice job to string her out. That one will go out of bounds and will stay with the Evergreens. Hudson and Toole definitely making the right adjustments here after Hopper got the better of them on those initial sprints inside the hashes. They have definitely been looking far improved in these last couple of minutes, as DC Everest has not enjoyed nearly the looks they had in those opening minutes. 22 and a half minutes in, the Old Abes up 1-0 in this regional final matchup as Schroeder gives it the boot for the Old Abes. For grabs in the center, and the Evergreens able to come away with it. It's Thomas now on the far side for DC Everest. Bernicke able to jostle it free, and some nice positioning there. Feeds it over to Schroeder, who will boot it out to the 40.
Great defensive play there by Bernicke.
Yeah, and at this level, at this stage in the postseason, you definitely need to be playing your best. And right now, the Abe's defense is playing just about that. particularly making those adjustments, has been looking rather nice. The Evergreens certainly showing no signs of giving in early. They've had several aggressive pushes, particularly to that far side edge. Brinley Thomas getting a lot of action over there.
For sure, the Old Abes have been looking a lot better since those first couple of fast breaks opportunities for Hopper. They've been looking really good at preventing anything from developing, any opportunities for developing for the Evergreens.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we want to see here, simply because DC Everest, with a lot of aggressive pushes, should those get sent away, it's demoralizing but also fatiguing. We saw against the Huskies, they played some of their best soccer against our girls in the regional semifinal here at Memorial Stadium. Schroeder with a good assessment of the damage, able to swoop in. And yeah, the Huskies simply getting worn down in that second half. They were outscored 3-0 after pitching a shutout in the first half. And that was simply due to the Old Abes kicking it into high gear. We'll see how that affects the Evergreens here once again as they take on the Old Abes in the regional final.
Yeah, kicking it into high gear and also just wearing the Huskies down over time. They were putting up highly defensive fronts against the Old Abes that were doing a great job to prevent the Old Abes from scoring for a large portion of the match, but the more the Old Abes pressed, the more pressure they put on the Huskies, the more opportunities they were able to see and the better looks they were able to get and the more shots they were able to fall.
Yeah, and the sheer volume just working wonders there. That last shot, the pass from Hudson trying to get over to Gunderson, won't able to come to fruition. Another shot in the center, and this time Hopper chased down by Toole, strung out to the far side, can't get the shot off, and Toole gets it out of danger. Amy Toole, the senior, what a job from her, as Hopper not able to get the better of her that time. Definitely seeing some quick adjustments there from the senior tonight.
Yeah, just a phenomenal play there by Toole. Gets beat at first, but is able to stay focused and readjust and get caught up to Hopper on the second effort. Just phenomenal play from Toole there to prevent the opportunity for the Evergreens.
Yeah, and in those circumstances, we see it when we're on the offensive side of things. High shot, and that one will go to Schroeder to clear it away. You see it a lot, but it just comes down to buying yourself some time a little bit. That can be the difference between an open shot and not being able to get a shot off at all. It certainly was there. Toole doing a nice job to be just disruptive enough to force her out to the far side a little bit, not able to get her in a dead heat, and Schroeder, as a result, not having to get her hands dirty. Toutant sending a shot over on the far side. Gunderson trying to track this one down as Abeel able to dump it off nicely. DC Everest able to neutralize that attack. And now sending it over. Nobody home, however.
Nobody home except for Schroeder. What a boot.
Another spectacular clear from Schroeder, and now taking it from the header from Thomas. Ferguson trying to foray, and a nice tackle there. Abeel once again doing a nice job securing the edge. Brennicky with the tap over to Toutant. And that one out of bounds as they try to lead Gunderson on the far side. Throwing on the far side for the Evergreens. 27 and a half minutes into this one for the regional final. The Old Abes currently in the lead, 1-0 over DC Everest. One slipping past. Hudson has her way with it. Throws that one deep. Abeel first to the scene on the near side. Able to sneak past Ferguson. And pushing it up in the direction of Thomas. Hudson, or pardon me, that was Kate Roberts on the near side doing a nice job to keep DC Everest from clearing that one. And Abil sends it away for a throw-in on the near side. The Old Abes, the beneficiaries.
The Old Abes with a decent opportunity here, getting a nice trip deep into Evergreens territory, which we haven't seen for a minute, as they've been on the back foot for a little bit of time now. Have an opportunity to take back control here now.
Palmier surveying, trying to push it back to Levick. That one will be sent away. A nice read by Kirsten Hall. Levick back with it. Near side, adjacent to the penalty box, sending over the center. Shot is up and high as Gunderson takes it on the run, coming in just a little too hot. And the Evergreens forcing the issue. That would have been a goal to remember, certainly. That one just coming in a little too quickly as Gunderson will send it high.
Great look there. Gunderson not giving up on it, showcasing some of her speed. Just not quite able to get that shot to fall, but
yeah, I mean, that's exactly what you want to see at this stage in the game. And yeah, the Old Abes, if nothing else, keeping the keeper on notice, and Bronger is definitely on notice here. 30 minutes in, and whistle will give the Evergreens a free kick. Levick leading Gunderson beautifully. Open net. She knocks it in. Piper Gunderson, tried and true this time, on the money for goal number 2 for the Old Abes. What a pass and what a shot. Piper Gunderson pushing Bronger up prematurely and able to take advantage of an open net.
Just beautiful soccer there by the Old Abes. What a pass and what a shot. Old Abes taking a 2-0 lead with 30 minutes gone in the game. Old Abes are looking fantastic right now, as
Allie Levick to Piper Gunderson.
the Evergreens with getting a little bit of a foray into Old Abe's territory now. Old Abe's defense sending it back. Levick gets one out to playing now.
Now pushing up past midfield in the center, trying to find Gunderson again. And that one sent perhaps a little prematurely. Bronger let that one out the near side harmlessly. Chance to clear it away, and just about 8.5 minutes remaining here in the first half. The Evergreens, under an onslaught of Old Abe's offense, have found themselves in a pretty unadvantageous situation. However, should they be able to use the time they've got to even get it down to a one-score game, there is still plenty of time to make a difference here before the whistle. It's going to have to come with a few adjustments, as the looks they've gotten from Hopper and trying to get to Thomas on the far side have not come to fruition. Errant pass out of bounds there, intended for Haymauer. Bradle sending that one over in the direction of Thomas. Unable to get there, it'll be Maria Hansen of the Evergreens for the throw-in. Bradle in the direction of Kling. That one scooped up. Coming out towards the center, Bernicke picking off that one intended for Hopper. Physical contest there. And that one pushed out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for Old Abe's adjacent to the penalty box on the far side. Kling turning the corner on the near side. She might have some extra room here. Pushing in, crossing over to the center, puts up the shot, and an excellent save. Bronger outstretching the right hand, able to pop that one skyward. And Nora Kling with a great shot, but like you always say, good shot, better save.
Yeah, what a save there by Bronger. Oh my goodness, reaching up, swatting that away with one hand. And almost just as good of a play by Nora Kling there, not able to...
Off the center, off the crossbar. I believe that was Avery Bradle there.
Non-stop action here at Memorial Stadium. Can't even breathe for a moment, and we've gotten another shot almost going into the net.
Yeah, and it's affecting us up here for sure, but more significantly, it's affecting the visiting team down below. They have not had a moment to get a word in edgewise, let alone get it out of danger. The constant pressure from the Old Abes already netting them 2 goals, and trying to add on to it as they have been nothing but aggressive here. Closing in on 35 minutes on the clock. They've still got plenty of time to inflict more damage. High header from Toole in the direction of Levick, and that one will be pushed out of bounds, throwing on the near side for the Evergreens.
But yeah, as I was saying earlier, that excellent save from the Evergreens keeper, almost as good on that play though, was Nora Kling's shot and dribbling footwork. Everything on that play by Kling, excellent, able to get a good look up at a shot, just a better save. And then Bradle as well on that header, almost got that one to get in the net. It was a couple great looks for the Old Abes.
And now trying to push it over to Bradle. That one diverted at the last second, but now Sheehan might have a chance at it. Shot is deflected. And now that one nudged to the near side and out of bounds. Throw in for the Old Abes as DC Everest able to narrowly avoid disaster there. Seemed like Bradle was coming open there on the near side, but once Kling was able to get into position, the window had closed, and credit where credit's due to the DC Everest back 4 there. And whistle. That one will be to the benefit of Nadia Al-Hashlaman and the Old Abes. A little bit of undue contact there.
Yeah, that one just an obvious foul there.
Yeah. You like to see a physical game, especially at this stage in the postseason. So it'll be interesting to see how to temper that aggression with some discipline. The Old Abes historically doing a nice job of that, making sure they don't cost themselves with unforced errors. Boot's going to go out past midfield. And Sandquist can't quite get to it on the near side, trying to feed it over to Kling. Sheen's pass diverted out of bounds. 37 minutes on the clock. The Abes with 3 minutes to work with to inflict more damage. The Evergreens trying to get themselves on the board here. High shot in the direction of Ferguson, coming up to meet it. Bronger. Easy work of that one, and to Bronger's credit, letting in 2. However, they have notched 6 saves so far on the match.
Yeah, the Old Abes attack just relentless, putting up 14 shots so far, and we're not even done with the first half. The Old Abes have been putting a lot of pressure on the Evergreens defense and goalkeeper. And quite frankly, with how many good looks the Old Abes have been getting, it is a credit to the keeper that it is only 2-0 right now.
Yeah, some adjustments definitely needed for the Evergreens that they want to get themselves back into this one. As the Old Abes once again on the move, Bradle trying to get it to Kling. And Bronger able to get that one as it'll outpace Kling. And now Hopper outpacing Toole. Might have a shot at this one. Schroeder can't get to it, and knocking it in, DC Everest has put themselves on the board. Hopper denied 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Number 6 able to strike home, and the Evergreens have found pay dirt when they needed it most. They've been trying to push that center agenda here for the entirety of the match. This time, just getting a step on Toole and putting up a nice shot there.
And hey, like we said, if they keep getting that opportunity there, eventually one of them's going to fall, because it just puts too much stress on your goalkeeper to constantly be having one-on-one situations like that with Hopper. It was just a matter of time until one of those shots fell. Schroeder had done an excellent job in that one-on-one matchup up until that point. It's just the defense needs to not be allowing that many one-on-one opportunities in the fast break.
Now trying to push it over in that direction again. Toole all over this one, sending it over to Kling. And now we've got a whole different ball game. 39 minutes on the clock, and it's a one-score game once again. The Old A's up 2-1, and a nice tackle there on the edge. Nora Kling bested on the near side. Levick trying to push in, able to deflect that one. It'll be out on her touch. Just about 45 seconds to work with the Evergreens to throw it in on the near side. Will get herself out of harm's way. And a physical contest between Sandquist and Sheehan elicits a bit of contention here from the DC Everest fans, and there are a lot of them.
5, 4, 3,
Time ticking away. The Evergreens will likely not be able to get anything else going, and that will do it. A last-minute goal, putting them on the board and within striking distance, but the Old Abes still have the advantage at 2-1 in their favor as they attempt to become regional champions and get a bit of revenge here at Memorial Stadium.
But stay tuned here after halftime. Just this short break, we will have the second half of action here in this exciting game so far. 2-1 is your score. Old Abes with a 1-point lead. Stay tuned for this next half of action. Here at Old Abes TV, where it is always a great day to be in Old Abes.
Welcome to the second half. The Old Abe's up 2-1 on the DC Everest Evergreens in the regional final here at Memorial Stadium. The Evergreens able to notch a last-minute goal and put themselves right back in it. An aggressive push there, an all-out blitz will not come to fruition, as it'll be a throw-in on the near side for the Old Abes. Trying to get it over to Thomas. Thomas, a little underled by that pass. Now the Old Abes trying to work it up the near side sideline. Ferguson now trying to turn the corner, and a nice tackle there by Beal.
Yeah, great defensive effort there by Beal. Just fantastic work.
Thomas now swooping in far side, crosses over the first defender, puts up the shot! Off of the far side post. Still not out of the woods yet, trying to get it clear of the penalty box. Palmier trying to get around to Beal. Whistle blows it dead, and what a shot there. Thomas swooping in out of nowhere, puts up a great shot. Couple more inches pushed to the near side, and that one was on the money.
Yeah, so close to being able to get another goal for these Old Abes. Just a bit off the mark.
Tool shot up and far from the near side post. And Roberts hitting the deck there. And another physical sequence taking place on the far side as both teams jostle for positioning. Sending it over to the middle, back over towards Roberts. Bernicke crossing over, hitting the deck now is Thomas. Bernicke still in control and able to get it between two defenders, or two Evergreens rather. And a nice sequence there. Sadie Bernicke single-handedly stopping the attack from the Evergreens in its tracks.
Yeah, Bernicke doing a great job to just overcome some incredibly physical play by the Evergreens.
And here it is again, swooping in. Thomas just on the outskirts of the penalty box on the floor. And another call against the Evergreens as Thomas shoved to the ground.
Yeah, and I mean, the Evergreens have just been playing incredibly physical since the jump of this second half. Like, the fans getting mad at it, but I don't see really how they can be.
You know, at this stage in the game, it's about discipline as much as it's about aggression. You need to see the Abes themselves, a very physical team, but especially in these conditions, you got to be careful about keeping it aggressive, or else those unforced errors are going to give the other team a big opportunity. Here's one. It's going to be Ronger on Elise Thomas. Thomas to do the honors of the first penalty kick of the game. bit of a recess here as the clock is reset. 42-48 on the clock. The Old Abes up 2-1, and a very valuable opportunity here in the regional championship. A penalty kick on the leg of Elise Thomas to try and put the Abes up 2 scores. We've gotten a little bit of everything that you want to see in the postseason, including a little bit of contention on those sidelines. Thomas lined up. Shot is up and in! Goal! Elise Thomas sneaks it in on the far side. And the Abes take a 3-1 lead. What a shot from Elise Thomas.
That's just incredible placement there. The goalie able to get her hands on it, but it still doesn't matter as the shot is strong enough to go through the goalie's hands and score to put the Old Abes up 3-1. What a shot by Elise Thomas. Overcoming the loud crowd noise too, as DC Everest does have a strong fan presence here at Memorial Stadium.
And that's exactly what you love to see about the postseason. These players playing their best ball amidst the brightest lights and the highest of pressures. Elise Thomas rising to the occasion and putting the Old Abes up a valuable 2 scores. Once again, the game shifting on a dime there. Toole legging it out, getting it over in the direction of Thomas. No, offside.
I think free kick.
And setting up a free kick for the Old Abes. Sending that one over in the direction of Kling and Ferguson. Ferguson, bit of space here, could make a chip shot and slips there, cannot put a shot up. That one sent out of danger, and the Old Abes with a good look but unable to get it going. Willems with a physical contest there opposite Grace Sandquist. Hopper once again looking dangerous. Hudson heading her off spectacularly. Bernicke picking up the pieces. Out past midfield now, it's Ferguson. Ferguson, bit of space here opposite of Beal. Getting it out ahead of herself. Trying to turn the corner on a Beal who's been a formidable opponent on that wing this entire contest. Able to come away with it, a nice tackle from her. Can't clear it of Willems. Willems with her choice of it, sends it over to the keeper. And Bronger able to beat it. Elise Thomas there trying to come in and take care of any potential deflections. But Bronger able to scoop it up, and the Abes are free of trouble. Levick running it down on the far side, teeing it up for Schroeder. Schroeder guns it, it'll be short, and it'll give the Evergreens a nice opportunity there on the far side. Palmier legging it out in the direction of Thomas. Thomas beating the defender on the far side. Inside the penalty box now, trying to cross it over to Kling, and that one scooped up by Bronger. An excellent defensive effort there. And Bronger can't quite, Thomas can't quite sneak it in.
Yeah, just a great play by the defender there. Maybe Thomas could have used to get the center to...
Might have been what she was trying to get there.
A little bit earlier, perhaps, but...
Shot is up, blocked. Toole with a bit of vengeance there. Able to block a nice looking shot before it's able to develop. Levick fleecing it back over to Palmier. Kick is high, up, headed in the direction of Kling. Kling trying to chase it down. She's got an open net. Open net for Nora Kling.
Another goal here for the Old Abe. And Nora Kling doing something we've seen so much from her this season. Goalies are just not used to Nora Kling's speed. She gets a chase down opportunity, and so often you'll see the goalie come up to try and get it because they're not used to players as fast as Nora Kling. And she will just surprise the goalie by being able to get to the ball before her.
And that is a big momentum swinger. Kling finally able to find pay dirt using her superior speed to the fullest extent. And now the Evergreens have a large hole to climb out of. They've got time to do so, but they have got to adjust that game plan if they want to get back in this one. The Old Abes coming out swinging, currently 2-0 in this second half. They're up 4-1 overall on the Evergreens.
Yeah, the Old Abes just looking phenomenal so far in this second half. Staying aggressive, but also staying disciplined, not playing too aggressive and committing a lot of fouls.
And now with some potential developing here as they try to get it over to, they've got it over to Ferguson. Ferguson from the outskirts of the penalty box. That one will be blocked away nicely by the freshman Maddie Weber. Sets up a throw-in adjacent to the penalty box. Ferguson sends it over to the center. That one up high and caught by Bronger. Bronger coming down with it. And Bronger under fire this entire contest. 8 saves on the night and letting in 4 goals so far.
Yeah, they've let in 4 goals, but I don't think that much of that blame can be shifted to Bronger.
And a nice defensive effort there. Thomas keying up, trying to put 2 on the board for herself, but Hallie Gums able to get in there and interfere at the crucial moment. Trying to center that one over to Thomas once again. That one straight to the keeper. The Evergreens out of immediate danger here as they're sent past midfield. On the far side now, Kling crossing over to the center. A nice contest. Able to shake the defender, sending it high, too high, and that one will go over the crossbar. Looked like maybe trying to get Ferguson there to chip it in on the near side, but can't quite connect. And the Evergreens coming up with a stop, but they're showing signs of fatigue.
I think Kling might have just been going straight for the shot and almost had it on the money, too. Just a hair too high on that one.
Palmier there to intercept it. Weber in the general vicinity. Ferguson able to get it back over to Palmier. Palmier coming away free. Boleski putting up a nice fight there. Good contest by her. That one deflected by Boleski. Up for grabs, and Bernicke will take control back over to Willems. The Old Abes keeping up the pressure. Abil sending it over to the center. And now Hopper teeing up and has the makings of a nice pass there. That one just overshooting her target. Quelver out in open space. Nothing but green grass there. But unable to connect with the pass, and that one will be a throw-in for the Old Abes on the far side. 49.5 minutes in, and the Old Abes up 4-1 with a 2-0 advantage since coming out of halftime. Toole able to divert the pass, but Hopper able to get it in the end. On the outskirts of the penalty box, takes it over, trying to center it in the direction of Quelver, and a physical hit there. And that will give the Old Abes possession. Campman coming in, guns blazing, and flooring the defender in the process.
Wrong type of football right there.
And Schroeder sending that one deep, and once again the Abes trying to capitalize on another unforced error from the Evergreens. Kling now looking dangerous, trying to turn the corner, gets past Abil. She will, coming up to meet it as Bronger, trying to sneak it in at Bronger. Steel trap that time. And she's able to stop it in its tracks before it's able to sneak past. Kling with another good look. Bronger coming away with her second good save on Kling.
I think maybe trying to get it out to Ferguson there, just slightly misjudging the angle on it. Could have been a shot a shot too, but it looked like maybe she was trying to get it to Ferguson before the goalie could come.
Hopper the intended target. Hudson stringing it out to the far side, taking control. Hopper will try and fleece it in on the far side and cannot do so. Too shallow for a center, and Schroeder is all over that one. Ellie Hudson doing a nice job to buy the defense some time to reassemble, and Hopper is neutralized once again deep in Old Abe's territory. Thomas gets her own header, trying to sneak it over to Kling once again. Kling over to the center. That one, the attempted clear, will not be able to get far. And now picking up the pieces, Ferguson with a nice tap over to Bradel. Bradel sends it, and it will go past the near side post. 51:45 on the clock. The Abes up 4-1, and that one will give the Evergreens an opportunity to send this one clear. Trying to find Hopper deep, but Toole all over that one, knocks it back to earth with a header. Holloman with a nice contest there. Sandquist sending it back over and trying to feed Hopper. Toole snatches it up once again. The Evergreens able to find their first goal of the night, getting it to Hopper repeatedly and getting one that was able to outpace the defensive four. But the Old Abes have well and truly gotten a nose for that scheme. They've been able to read that perfectly here in the second half. They have not been able to get the looks they've wanted on the DC Everest side of things. Amauer trying to give somebody a chance inside the penalty box. Nobody home. Bernicke over to Bradel. Bradel eyeing it up, leading Ferguson. Ferguson trying to leg it out opposite Podleski. Turning the corner, putting up the center, and that one! It knocked in. And an own goal will make the situation ever more dire, for the Evergreens.
I don't think we should do the replay on that one. That seems kind of...
And Ferguson doing an excellent job, to her credit, to keep that play alive, sprinting to receive Bradel's pass, able to knock that one over to the center, and in the confusion, the Evergreens with a self-inflicted wound that may prove fatal, certainly not what they were looking to achieve there. And now, with 53.5 even on the clock, the Old Abes with a rather advantageous 4-score lead over their opponent in the regional final.
I mean, an unfortunate turn of events there for the Evergreens, but also if they hadn't gotten in the way, pass would have made it to Kling, who would have had an excellent opportunity for a shot there. So had to do something. Obviously, don't want to score it in your own goal, but
yeah, even
it's understandable where the mistake comes from.
Even happens at the pro level, and yeah, now all you need to focus on here is the deficit in front of you. And with a chance here, high shot, and Schroeder tries to bat it away. That one sent in, and the Evergreens respond in kind. They've got a long way to go, but that is a statement right there. A quick drive down to the opponent's penalty box and a good shot, able to better Schroeder there on the far side.
Yeah, just a good shot there by the Evergreens. Still in a large deficit. They need to score 4 points to tie the Old Abes in the next...
3 to tie, 4 to take the lead in the next 25 minutes. So not But that drive right there, that definitely makes a statement as the fatigue has definitely been setting in. That's the first true set of looks they've gotten, and they've been able to capitalize. So the Evergreens mark them as down, but do not count them out just yet. Inside the hashes now. Trying to get it back over to the center. Bernicke stopping them in their tracks as Sandquist tries to push it up past midfield. And a bull rush there. Campman able to get it past a foot race, and Schroeder able to beat Hopper to it. A nice aggressive play there. As a dual jostling from Hudson and Toole, combined with a good move by Schroeder, is able to send that one away harmless, and a foot race for it. Kling trying to outpace them. She will just nearly get to it, but DC Everest able to divert it at the last second. Levick past Campman. Trying to feed it into Kling inside the penalty box, tipping it over, and she's got Palmier. Palmier trying to notch it in and able to deflect it and hop on top of it. Bronger coming up with another save, and a nice one at that. 5-2 your score. The Abes up with 55-50 here on the clock.
Evergreens was 10. Great hand to put it.
Substitutions coming in for the Old Abes. And some speed coming in. Willems and Thomas amidst Roberts. Pass there knocked out of bounds at midfield. Trying to get it over in the direction of Campman. Levick all over that one, diverts it to Palmier. Palmier legging it out, trying to get over to Gunderson. And that one just a little too far. The keeper able to get to that one before any damage could be done. And a spectacular clear there gets it out over in the direction of Hopper. Toole mitigating the threat for the time being, sends it away to the far side. Will stay fair. Roberts trying to lead Kling once again. That one will go out of bounds just before Kling can get to it, running her ragged there on that far side wing. Over in the center of that one. Intercepted by Hudson and getting free of Bolesky. Rushing up for it is Gunderson. That one knocked into the keeper as Bronger. Right there. Good positioning on her part. Not afraid to take a dig, and as a result, she will avoid another goal from Piper Gunderson. And sprinting for it, Brinley Thomas now of the Evergreens inside the box, puts up the shot, and that one with not enough power as Bernicke and Hudson converging with ferocity there, not really letting her get anything that she wanted. And forcing the issue will result in a clear to the near side. A nice job defensively by the Old Abes.
Yeah, Bernicke especially doing an excellent job to catch up there. Caught a little bit flat-footed, got past, but able to lock in and catch up to the attacker.
And that's the sort of adjustment that separates a good team from a great team, particularly on the defensive side of things. The Old Abes able to make up for that minor lapse and send the Evergreens away with not a word in edgewise. Center over in the direction of Thomas, but Bronger beating her to the punch. Sets up another clear. 59 minutes in. Roberts directs that one out of bounds. Far side throw in at midfield for the Evergreens. A vicious tackle there, and Paul Muir able to come away with it. On the far side, trying to lead Kling, trying to get around Abil now as she gets inside the penalty box. A nice contest there by Abil getting in, and that one knocked over towards the keeper, and she'll have easy time with that one. And a nice adjustment defensively will effectively neutralize Kling on that possession. And it's up deep past midfield. Hudson, the last line of defense, able to corral it. Gunderson, nice job able to turn the corner on Bodleski. Bodleski catching up nicely, forcing the issue. That pass will get it back over to Gunderson. Legging it out, and that one will get to Kling. A spectacular pass inside, looking dangerous, knocks it in! Nora Kling from the far side. An excellent pass by Gunderson inside the penalty box, and Nora Kling finishes the job. The Old Abes have 6 on the Evergreens 2. Take a 4-score lead once again, 60 minutes and 32 seconds into this one. And what a performance so far. The passing has been exquisite here at Memorial Stadium tonight.
And what a performance by Nora Kling, notching another goal for the Old Abes. Just spectacular performance by her tonight. She's been playing fantastic, and so has this entire Old Abes team of 6'2" on the Evergreens right now.
Coming from number 22, Dr. Gunderson.
Bernicke sending that one over on the near side to Gunderson. Willems gives it the boot. Thomas, the recipient here, she will locate it. Takes that one on the chin on the attempted clear. And now Campman legs it out. That one will go out of bounds before anybody's able to get to it. The Old Abe's the beneficiary of a throw-in on the far side. Swooping in is Willems. Willems sending that one out. Thomas rising up to meet it. But Bronger with a nice read of the situation, able to get that one out before Thomas could make things interesting. Vic with a high shot. Corralled by a header by Willems. Trying to turn the corner. And Sandquist secures possession, legging it out in the direction of Quelver. And now inside the penalty box. He'll take it back over to Sandquist, and Roberts read it like a book. Sends that one over to Schroeder, who's got an easy time of it. Quelver with a dangerous look there with nobody near on the near side, but the Old Abes converging effectively. And once again, DC Everest can't find much of an answer. Ferguson now, opposite Abil. Abil sending it in between the hashes. Roberts picks it up. Bernicke sending it over in the direction of Ferguson and Thomas. That one sent back outside the penalty box. Willems tees it up, and that one goes straight to Bronger from near the far side post. Bronger hanging in there with an effective an impressive 9 saves. Tangled up there. Setting up a free kick for the Evergreens. That was Sheehan opposite Sandquist. Bernicke will take control on the near side, pushing it up over in the direction of Thomas. Thomas, some nice dribbling there. However, notching over to the middle here. Trying to turn the corner around the center. That one taken around, and now Toole, uncontested, will let Schroeder get over to that one first. Chipping it over to the logo. And that one sent over to Hopper. Schroeder, stalwart in the face of danger, undeterred by Ava Hopper's assault, and will take over. And Ashlyn Schroeder, in a lot of these situations, she has been tested, unlike she has been in these last couple games against conference opponents. But in a lot of those situations, she makes it look so easy there, giving up 2 tough goals. But for the most part, these 6 saves have come as a result of some high discipline and high skill performance.
Yeah, she's played very well tonight. Nothing to complain about in her performance. Let pass 2 goals, but some tough shots.
And you'll see those at the regional level for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Campman gives it the boot. Roberts, the only one home. She'll let that out of bounds for an opportunity to throw in on the far side. Physical contest there will not elicit a whistle. Roberts taking that one on the chin.
Perhaps the fans having a bit of an influence, the DC Everest fans complaining a lot tonight.
Nevertheless, you got to play on, though. Yeah, especially, soccer, a lot of open field contact can sometimes get a bit more physical. So when that sort of thing goes unnoticed, sometimes you just got to play on. And the Old Abes doing so effectively, able to flip the field amidst a rather physical tackle from their opposition. Out in the direction of Teuton on the near side, got a bit of space. Opposite Sandquist, she'll get it over to the center. Bernicke now. Back over to Teuton. Teuton teeing it up. And that one high in the direction of the near side corner. Give Bronger an opportunity to send this one clear. 67 minutes into this one, the Old Abes pressing a 6-2 advantage over the DC Everest Evergreens in the regional championship.
Yeah, the Old Abes have looked phenomenal this game. Their offensive attack spectacular. Ashlyn Schroeder doing some great work in the goal, leading to this 6-2 lead for the Old Abes.
With another shot, added this one on the money, but Bronger able to interfere, notches another save. She's into double digits. Levick with a nice read on things, able to divert it back over to the favorable side of midfield. Sandquist trying to work around Teuton. Can't thread the needle. Levick once again there. Giving the go-ahead and swooping in is Levick.
Oh, it's okay. I got something. I'm fine. You good?
Moving on over, that was off on the Evergreens touch, and as such will set up a throw-in deep in DC Everest territory. Throw in here, Allie Levick. Get ready. Palmier back over to Levick. Levick sending one high in the direction of Bradel, and that one cleared out of immediate danger. A nice defensive play there. That was Schmidt, and a diving save there as Bronger able to get on top of that one. And the Old Abes putting up a lot of nice shots here. There are very few where you can point at them and see that they were pretty easy stuff for the keeper to get. Bronger has earned those saves in earnest.
Yeah, despite the 6-goal performance for the Old Abes, Bronger, I don't feel like has played a bad game. She's just had a tough time dealing with the onslaught that the Old Abes send. The Old Abes have gotten off 23 shots this game.
Yeah,
23.
and against even the best keepers, we saw, for example, Maddie Sorensen of the Huskies playing some of her best ball in the net. However, against that multitude of shots, and with the Old Abes having their way in that mid-range inside the penalty box, there are only so many good looks that you can send away. And Ashlyn Schroeder seeing a little bit of that, as she is no stranger to pitching shutouts, but has been amidst some fierce attacks from the DC Everest side of things. However, the frequency is where it all matters. The Old Abe certainly with the advantage there, 23 shots to the Evergreens 13. It'll be a throw-in on the far side for the Evergreens, as now they're definitely in the hurry-up. Only 10 minutes to work with, and the Old Abes with a 4-score advantage. Roberts trying to get in, and now on the near side, it's Ava Hopper once again. Hopper now takes the shot. That one crossed over. And that one off the far side will not score for the Evergreens. That one looking close, but not quite. And Hopper doing an excellent job to leg it out, give it some extra life with a crossing over. But Schroeder doing a nice job to limit the Evergreens' options, and the defense fully established at that point, making easy work of it.
The Evergreens just missing that one a little bit to the far side, not quite able to get it to go off of the great pass to from Hopper.
And Ava Hopper has really been the catalyst for what the Evergreens have been able to muster in terms of offense. The Old Abe's defense among one of the best in the state at this juncture. And when challenged by the Evergreens in their first matchup in the regular season, they performed exceptionally here at home. However, we're seeing fortunes shift as the Evergreens have gotten some nice looks, but the Old Abe's offensive attacks simply overwhelming at this juncture.
And yeah, like you said with Hopper, the Evergreens here have shown they have some great players. Hopper has been playing good. I think the goalie Bronger has been playing good too.
Abil on the defensive end of things as well. They've definitely been standouts.
But it's just they don't have the same level of depth that the Old Abes do. Like, if you're looking everywhere on the Old Abes roster, is great players. Like, there's not really many weak points on this Old Abes team, and I think that's why you're seeing them perform so well in this match and all season.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you there, not to mention kind of tangentially related to that is the chemistry. We've been seeing some downright beautiful passes inside the penalty box from the Old Abes, and a lot of selfless plays as well. A lot of opportunities. Could have taken a deep shot, tried for a glory shot, but instead opting to go with the game plan, stick to the fundamentals, and find the open girl inside for a better opportunity. And it's that sort of selfless play that's led to the Old Abes getting such good looks. Definitely a couple for the highlight reel here.
Yeah, and that opportunity comes when you know you have a lot of players who can make big-time plays.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, the Old Abes just have a variety of scoring threats and options, so when they get down to it, they can make the extra pass because they're just passing it to another person who's just about as good at scoring.
Now the Evergreens, with only 6 minutes to work with and 4 goals to notch, have just enough hope here to keep them alive, but not much more than that. And on the line here, obviously, as it is the regional final, here is a trip to the sectional round, the sectional semifinal, which we anticipate being the Hudson Raiders here, the favorite to come away with the victory. And that would bring in a nice challenge for the Old Abes, as they have played their conference opponent twice already this season, once in the full, proper regular season and once in the BRC tournament. Both times coming away with the victory. They would host the Raiders at Memorial Stadium. And looking ahead, that will be an excellent challenge, as Hudson, who I am being told notched a 2-0 victory over Wausau West. The 2 seed could play the 1 seed here if the Old Abes are able to continue to run out the clock in these final minutes.
And would it be appropriate to see anyone else in this sectional semifinal having butted heads with Hudson 2 times already this season, coming out the victors 2 times already this season? But those were both fantastic matches. Both times the Hudson Raiders put up a good fight. The Old Abes just showing themselves to be the better team the past 2 times. Will that change the next time, though? Will the Hudson Raiders have an opportunity for a revenge game in that sectional semifinal?
Yeah, not to mention the Raiders knocking out the Old Abes after splitting games with them in the regular season for the boys' season back in 2024 in this fall. And a heartbreaker at Memorial, showing the rivals coming head-to-head once again. An opportunity to get due revenge for their fellow soccer program.
Yeah, for sure. The Hudson's just so good in so many sports this season. They were one of the toughest matchups that the Old Abes faced. That first game against them, the Old Abes got a 3-0 victory. The second one, 2-1 victory.
In a spectacular comeback, I might add. The Raiders notching an incredible header goal off of a corner kick to give themselves the lead. The Old Abes able to claw back, as that corner back here sails harmless, will set up another opportunity on the far side, on the near side for the Evergreens. Just 3 minutes to work with here. This goal an absolute must if they want a prayer. And Schroeder swooping in and saying, just going to put an end to things right here. Catches it, and will send it away past midfield. A nice boot.
Schroeder is so good at that. You see her do it time and time again off the corner.
And Bradle now with a chance, trying to cross over, and that one will be deflected, trying to chip it in over to Gunderson, but cannot do so. Substitutions coming in for the Old Abes. Just 2 minutes left here in the Old Abes. Just a couple of seconds away from taking the victory over the Evergreens, getting some vengeance for last season's defeat at their hands, and proceeding to the sectional semifinal with a regional championship title behind them.
Yeah.
Moss outstripping Hopper. Now trying to get it back. A nice job by Jaden Moss, able to nudge that one out of the penalty box. Teeing up on the far side. Gunderson tracking it down. Putting on the move, sends up the shot. It is high, and that one deflected, one-handed. Another excellent save by Bronger.
Yeah, and that's why I say, despite the 6-2 lead for the Old Abes, I don't think you pin it on Bronger here. She's played phenomenal. What a save right there.
Yeah, I mean, you'll hear no objection from me on that score. It's simply hard to put up with this much traffic. And the attacks have been frequent, and they have been deadly. The Old Abes capitalizing on several excellent looks, but even more have been sent away with no damage done on the scoreboard.
This is Aiden. Hi, Brian. Well, okay,
The seconds tick away. 3, 2, 1, and there you have it. Your Eau Claire Memorial Old Abes are regional champions. Old Abes 2, Evergreens. Evergreens 2, Old Abe 6 at the final, and that is all she wrote. The Old Abes securing the revenge game against the Evergreens.
History repeated itself against the Huskies, taking a 3-0 victory, but got reversed here tonight as the Old Abes defeat the Evergreens, which they could not last season, to secure the regional championship. And man, it must be a good feeling for these girls to come away the regional champions against the same Evergreens who had thwarted them last season. This time coming back a little bit stronger, a little bit better. Senior heavy lineup, and these girls look poised for a deep playoff run. They look fantastic. They look fantastic here tonight. They've looked fantastic all season. What a showing from them.
Yeah, they will advance to take on the Hudson Raiders. It'll be a BRC showdown in the sectional semifinal here at Memorial Stadium. And that will be live streamed here on Old Abes TV, where it's always a great day to be an Old Abe.
get the trophy.
Your Old Abes are regional champions. And on that note, we will sign out. I'm Charles Strayer.
And I'm Teddy Harless.
And as always, go Abes!